What up, Cowboys Nation? It's a sad day. Um, Congrats to the Packers. First off, they won the game. They went out and did what they needed to do. Took advantage of the things that Dallas was doing, and Aaron Rodgers is a monster, which we all knew. I'm not here to say the refs blew the game or the refs cost us the game. I'm not one of those fans to be like, oh, the refs are the refs are the reason. I was upset with the inconsistency of the calls, though. I was upset that they missed calls, one way, and they missed calls the other way, and then there was just a timely penalty. It seemed every time. It seemed every time, maybe, it's my bias, that every time the Packers' drives were getting extended, our drives were getting stalled. It kind of just felt like that, the hands of the face of Mo Claiborne that was, kind of right here, like, it's close, and then, they weren't calling holding all game, like I said, and then, the across the chest, from Anthony Brown. But that did not cost us the game. The Packers still won the game. There was plenty of calls they missed on Dallas. There was plenty of calls they missed on, Green Bay. I'm not saying that was the reason that they lost the game. My biggest thing with Dallas, they were the better team. And that's not to say that the Packers aren't good, because they were decimated. It's not to say that the Packers, aren't a good team or they don't have talent. They don't have talent. What I'm saying is the Cowboys were fully healthy. They had except for Mo Claiborne getting hurt early. They had everybody out there, and the Packers are decimated, and it showed on the stat sheet. Dak Prescott had himself a hell of a game. Ezekiel Elliott ate up that defense. Dez Bryant went off on Gunter. Gunter could not guard him to save his life, and at the end of the day, the Cowboys still lost the game. And what I really think that was due to was an identity crisis in the most crucial moment of your entire season. You have an identity crisis. There's a lot of plays that I can go over, but the biggest one that stood out to me was 2nd and 1 on your own, on their like 27 or 30, and you call an RPO. An RPO. 2nd and 1. You have the league's leading rusher. You have arguably the best O-line in the entire league. And on 2nd and 1, you run a cheap, cute RPO. For what? That one was completely beyond me. I didn't understand it. And that's when I started to be like, wow, this team is really going to go out of their way to not play their game. I said it in my last video. Dallas, to me, was turning into that team that everybody knows what they're going to do, but they're just so good that you can't stop them. And everybody before the game was talking about Zeke running for 190 yards the last game, or 157 yards, and us as a team running for 190, and they were like, how are they going to stop him? And the truth is they didn't. Dallas just didn't run the ball enough. And it wasn't that Dak couldn't pass. It wasn't that Dak couldn't handle the game, because he obviously, led them back, and then, Zeke went off and Dez went off, and, that's great. But when you have Aaron Rodgers sitting on the other sideline, you want to keep him off the field. Play your game. That's what you guys do. I even talked about the formula in the last video that I put up. It was run the ball, play action with Dak because he can do it, and have your defense rest, get on the field, and play with intensity. And it wasn't the same. And by the way, I don't know. I should be a fucking analyst. I'm just joking. But I was screaming at the top of my lungs watching Sean Lee line up with Richard Rodgers, watching Sean Lee line up with Ty Montgomery, chase him all over the field, watching him line up with Randall Cobb a few times. I could not believe that this defense was giving Aaron Rodgers matchups like that. He ate Sean Lee apart. And Sean Lee's great in his box. He needs to stay in that box. That's where he gets 22 tackles. That's where he gets 20 tackles a game. Not chasing people down the field playing man-to-man. I have no idea where that came from. I did not see that the entire season. I have not even heard of that as part of our scheme. Sean Lee running down the field? Really? How do you think he gets 20 tackles a game? Because he's running down the... I'm sorry. That was my biggest pet peeve of the game. And that, honestly, is why the game blew up the way it did. Rodgers ate that matchup. The first touchdown to, I don't know if it was first, but the touchdown to Richard Rodgers, Sean Lee's chasing him all the way up the field, the offsides, and everybody flinched, and then, he could never catch him. It's not what he does. And then after that, the touchdown with Ty Montgomery running up the middle, Sean Lee's running around, trying to chase him as he's in motion. Why? Sean Lee should be plugging the middle every chance that he gets. And the way that they lined up, Sean Lee was right over him directly, and he was off to the side, and perfect block. And it's not to say the Packers, like I said, it's not to say that the Cowboys lost the game, because the Packers took advantage of every matchup that they were given by the Cowboys. When Sean Lee lined up against Rodgers saw that. When, Ty Montgomery's moving around, that's obviously Rodgers doing that. I understand that, and I understand that, there's a lot of things that go into that. But what I'm saying is I've never seen that the entire season. In a 16-game season, I didn't watch. In the past 5 years, I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe, on occasion, whatever, but not as part of our scheme. I watched it continually happen in the first half. And when it stopped, we held Rodgers to a touchdown and 2 field goals in the second half. 2 50-yard field goals in the second half. Mason Crosby, good on him. He went out and did his job. And I knew the game was over when, he was going to get his chance because he's a great kicker. But 2 50-yard field goals and 1 touchdown. Kudos to this team. I'm not mad at them. They played amazing. I can't believe that it really came down to an identity crisis that way, though. We had all the tools, and the tools were used effectively, but they were just not used effectively enough. Zeke should have had 30 carries. And it should have kept Rodgers off the field, and Dak should have, never had that chance to throw that interception ever. It didn't result in anything on the back end. Heath getting that, cheap interception off of Rodgers, whatever. But it was just so frustrating because that took points out the board for us. We were already at least in field goal range, and we do that, and we just take points out the board. There's plenty of times that I watch things like that. Like, everybody's talking about that 3rd and 2, and then the 4th and 2. 3rd and 2, you're throwing it deep, and then 4th and 2, you don't go for it. You set the tone. And, this game was just so frustrating on so many levels. But, again, congrats to the Packers. Congrats to all you Pack fans. Go Pack Go, all that crap you're posting on my page. Y'all deserve it. I wish y'all luck in the next round. Should be a show for an air show between Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers. But there's a lot of things to look forward to, Dallas Cowboys Nation, with regards to the offseason. We're going to be a different team. I'll tell you that much right now. Our entire secondary almost is up for free agency. We have 18 unrestricted free agents, or unrestricted and restricted, I'm not sure. 18. That's a lot of changes on a 53-man roster. We get Jalen Smith back, we get Charles Tapper, but I'll be going into those things, and then we have the draft, obviously, so I'll be going into those things probably in a video in about a week, talking about the free agents, and I'm probably going to go through all of them and say who we should keep and who we shouldn't. But again, congratulations to the Packers, congratulations, and it's a sad season for the way Dallas went down, because it wasn't that they couldn't execute, it was just that they chose not to. And that's frustrating as a fan, to know that your team is good enough to beat that team. Obviously, they were. The score was tied at the end of the game. It could have been anybody's game. And they had made a lot of decisions that probably prevented that earlier in the game. But, again, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have some great commentary in the comments. And it's good to be back, and I hope that we have a great offseason and it continues to build on this foundation that we look like we're building. Yeah. See you guys later. Talk to you guys later. Let's go Cowboys. Sad day.